two minutes before the scheduled start of this live stream, I hear these blurp blurp noises that Log Me and Rescue gives me when it loses connection. What's going on? The internet icon still looks okay, but no, internet was down. And it took a little while before my router showed the indicator.
Is this thing on?
But it did. Oh, and my cell phone was set to play the live stream because I sent a message into chat. Okay, so today, lots of things on the table. Last week, the thing that we ended up with was looking at this hard drive through what's that software called? Spinright. My mind's got too much going on right now, right? To have forgotten that word. And the conclusion is we couldn't do anything with that. Something happened after the show was over. I told two people about it, about what happened. And I don't know if they've told other people. I didn't ask them not to. So it's okay if they did. If you know what happened after the show was over, go ahead and put that into chat. And I'm going to give you some clues along the way about that to try to let you exercise your mind a little bit. Now, I have confirmation of my audio. I'm going to check on SpeakerBot audio here because I wasn't watching the screen at the right time for that.
Bob.
Yeah, that's working. I'm thinking I might get rid of those extra voices because like that one just yuck. I've got other topics. But before all of that, let me put out this little quiz. Can anybody in chat identify what's the most important thing to talk about today? What do I care about most? Last week, this question didn't get answered so well. So I figured, you know what? I need to start really honing in on this to make sure everybody understands what the most important topic is. And then this list of topics, whether we get into them or not, are optional. There it goes. There it goes. Let's see what we got here. Who is foist? Who is first? Who's on second? What's on first? Let's see. Where's my other button there? There we go. I'm back. Let's see. Steve Gibson showed up. What? Oh, after the show. Yeah, the people who know, I'm asking them not to say. So Ken Stout is saying that he knows, but he's not going to say, right?
Read chat, please.
Yeah, that's how I'll get. I want to catch them in order because I know some people. Chat questions. That looks like the first one. Chat questions. That's not quite worded the best way because it could be by emails or comments, but questions, technical questions brought up in chat, or they could be by email or by comments on videos. And Scott, nope, not backing up your data. That's not the most important topic to talk about on the channel. Maybe the most important topic for your computer, for anyone's computer, yeah. So let's get both Ran Israel and Selden Ball. Now, they didn't do read chat with it. I'm actually thinking, let's see, we'll get to that in a little bit. So let's go ahead and deal with this. Let's see, at Ran Israel answered that question right. Let's make that 1,000 points. And Selden Ball also, because he answered a little more specifically, which is good. Technical questions brought up in chat, comments, or email would have been even better. Even better. Chris Garrett says most important thing was his birthday. Happy birthday, Chris. I saw that conversation in chat. It was my birthday too. 8 months ago. All right. And hello, good morning to people. Good to see you all. Ken Stout, Greg Amran, Israel, Selden Ball. I didn't start reading from the beginning, but hopefully you've put messages in again. Scott Messerschmidt, Chris Garrett, Jeff, again, Marsman. You left your full name on Spinright. I think that's what he's thinking that happened after the show. No, there was an issue last week where you saw me get a little irritated with myself about something that I thought I did. And if somebody would like to say what you think I thought I did, go ahead and put that into chat. And then we'll let the cat out of the bag about what that was. Because one person I absolutely knew and informed me. And I thought I was, at the end of that show last week, I thought I was going to have to take it down, change it to private, and go edit it, and then republish it, which means we would lose all of the chat history. The chat replay would not work. So then the only chat you would get is what I show on screen, like I'm doing now. But fortunately, that problem wasn't what I thought it was. And let's see, I'm looking over at the OBS screen to see, oh, it says chat disconnected. That's probably when the internet was down. That last read chat, please. Why is it not showing up on OBS? I think OBS did actually lose its chat connection. Yeah, looks like I have to go. It's wanting me to select stream. See over here in chat, the last thing I see was this one between John Williams and Rick Lakes. But if I click here to YouTube Live Control, select stream, my test live stream is still available. So then this one, that should get me back to chat. And it doesn't. So what do I do to refresh that? I don't know. Let's come back here where I know it's working. I will get to the read chats. I was first, but I will lose points. What? I was first, but I will lose points. I don't know what that means. I know you were first in chat. 1102, from you, from me. See, 1102, from, it's a message that I sent from me, from, I don't know. I think he means to you, from me. 1102. 1102. I know, but two people. I know, but two people? Yeah. Who's the other person that I might have informed? Well, you don't know that. You don't know that why I might have been motivated to inform him. We'll get to that. We will get to that. The hard drive gave up. Nope, that wasn't it.
Read chat, please.
Mental health. My mental health happened? No. Geez, am I blocked? I don't know what that's about. He gets upset at the silliest little things. Your Honor, I rest my case. Again, he's whining about something. Hide their info. Not sure. I will not reveal. Okay. Thank you, Zavi. Now, Zavi was not one of the two people. I have not told him what happened after the show, although he was part of something that happened after the show. But that's not what I'm referring to. Rand Israel says something exposed. That is what that was the problem, that I had that brief irritation with myself that was obvious on screen. I was almost going to explain it. Then I decided I better not explain it because then somebody might rewind and the disastrous thing that I was afraid of might be more likely to happen. Here we go. Greg M. Expose your Spinright serial number. Expose your Spinright serial number. That's it. That's it, Greg. I'm gonna give you some points there. And Greg M. for getting that. And I'm going to give Zavi Manor even more points for that because he sent me an email and relieved me of my stress. So that relieving me of stress, it's a big, big deal. So 3,000 points. So what happened? Let's see, did I get all the read chats? Carrie, yes, Carrie was the second person. Exposure Spinright, Carrie. So Scott gets some points. Whoops.
Read chat, please.
Scott. And that'll be 1,000 because that was the second person. I don't even know if I said to guess who the second person was. I was the first to comment on your question of the most important thing. 1102, most important thing. 1102. See, he didn't specify. Apparently there's another 1102. Yeah. Yes, get rid of the voice in your head. You will feel much better. Questions from chat. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was really good. You're right there at the beginning. So, but see, you didn't
Read
effectively
chat,
point out which you have three things at 1102. All right, but I'm going to give you more because you are first on that. But you didn't get it very specifically. You didn't say technical questions, and it's also from comments and from email. So I'm not sure that the extra high points was appropriate. Let's see. There's some other read chats. Zvi says, "Wow." Yeah. Hey, relieve me of stress. Oh man, you are my hero. Yes, your picture of yourself coerced it. Oh no, covered it. Yes, Marsman got that perfect, Marsman. You're good thing there. And I don't even think I asked for someone to identify why it was okay. Because when I was looking at the screen here, I saw my Spinright serial number big and bold. And oh crap. I don't remember what my expletive was at that time, but I did use some expletive, I think. If I had looked over here at OBS, I would have seen that my picture-in-picture was covering it. And Zavi Manor sent me an email during the show. And towards the end of the show, he said, check my email. And I went and read it. I think I gave him some points then for it too, but that's okay. He deserves it. And he told me that my picture-in-picture had covered it. Now, why is that important? Because Spinright, the serial number is cache. I had a prior serial number to the one that I have now, and I had exposed it on a prior video, not knowing how important that was. They saw that. Now, I don't know if somebody in the Spinright community saw it and reported it to them. I highly doubt that Steve Gibson watched my video and saw it. I think somebody probably reported it to the right person, and the right person saw that. Yes, indeed, it was viewed. So and I don't know how long ago that was done. When it came time that I wanted to download the new version, my serial number wouldn't work for it. So I sent them an email. Hey, what's up? My serial number won't work. And then they told me that I had exposed it. They sent me an email. I actually replied to Zavi Manora's email and gave him a link to that video. It is still up on my channel. It's still out there. But that old serial number won't get you anything. With an active serial number, current active serial number, anyone else could download the software and use it. So Spinright, or the administrators of it, will deactivate that license. That little alarm there was a reminder to me to decide if I want to go do this during this show. And I will get to the other, I think there's another read chat. How did this get switched to subscribers? I know I configured this one for live commentary. I configured this show for live commentary. because I only configured this show this morning, and I very clearly made that change, and it switched back to subscribers somehow. All right, so I was going to change that so that people who are watching could comment in chat, could participate in chat. It's already there. They'll show up in gray if they haven't been approved. No, yeah, they'll show up in gray if they're not a moderator. That doesn't actually identify whether they've been approved for live commentary or not. Ken says he didn't change that. Ken Stout does have the capability of changing that. So I don't know how that happened. Now, where was I at? Okay, there. Other person. Yeah, so as far as if either of them like even announced it on their shows, I would have been fine with that. Hello, Lon Dog. Ran Israel, you forgot add points for Zavi. I did points for Zavi. I did them last week and I did them this week. I'm certain I did, right? Did you correct your misunderstanding there? Okay, let's go search for Zavi Minor and confirm that. I did that. 3,000 points for Zavi right there. But wait a minute.
Chat, please.
Did it work? That didn't work right. Because it didn't say that he's been awarded. Did this one for Ken Stout get awarded? Oh, I did that wrong too. See, this is what happens when I don't do shows often enough. I bet I didn't hit the right button. That's what I'm thinking. Zavi Minor, and then hit this button. Maybe I just pressed enter because the add points didn't show up. Yeah, there. Now that last read chat, you forgot to add points. I didn't hit the button. Please. The button on the Stream Deck does it. Today donate. Oh yes. But who are the people in green who received the gift? Who are the people? Yes, Tony did do that. Oh, I got stuff to catch up on. Okay, first I got to catch up on the points that I tried to award that I messed up. Or read chat. Points for Tony. Yes, I'll get the points for Tony. Well, since that's, I'll just do that. Whoops. Oh, Tony hasn't recently said something in chat. All right, so we'll get to that. I got to get the other points. Who was first that I tried to give points to? How am I going to easily find those? Oh, Live Windows Training. If I look at that, let's go look. Oh, I can't bring up all the chat messages from myself like I can do for the rest of you guys. See, I could come up here and go channel activity and show me all your previous comments. Copy that, paste it into find. Gotta go fix all these. Oh yeah, we need to get back to John's question. That was for me about the internet down. Is there a birthday cake on the table? Yeah, I think Chris is referring to this. Yeah, we'll get to that. That's on my topic list. Maybe we'll get to it. I don't know. They don't tell me nothing. I just work here. Oh, that's why Chris Garrett thought it was his birthday cake. Did that. Okay, Ran Israel. Okay, Ran Israel got the add points, so that one worked. So I hit the button. Seldom Ball got the points. Then Greg M got the points. V Minor did not. Oh, good. I only missed that one. I only messed up on that one. Oh, no. This one's messed up. Yep, I didn't do that one right. So let's do 1500 at Ken Stout Live and press the right button. Because he'll rip me up about that if I don't
Read chat,
fix
please.
that. Next week, I will add a technical question from chat, and somehow I will figure out how to specifically say the right time. Okay, now, so here's Ken Stout, still with the English language and proper sentence structure. Next week, I will add technical question from chat, and somehow I will figure out how to specifically say the right time. That's a statement. That's not a question. Question marks do not belong after a statement. -1 at Ken Stout Live. -1 point. Just messing with you. And for Groot, easy points. Oh, I got to continue this. I'm on 13 of 7. That one for Marsman was done correctly. That's not points. Wait a minute. What was this? I did not change that either. Oh, that was about this YouTube live stream setting. Points are right there. Are all chat messages in OBS? They still haven't fixed. It's over here. Yeah, it's still not working. Chat disconnected. What could I do to reconnect chat? How about switching to live chat? Yeah, that fixed it. Successfully connected. Yeah, so now they're working. Thank you for asking, Ken Stout. All right, let's give him some points for that. Because people want to know, including me. I have 1 year extra of Windows 10. I joined the Extended Support Union. The Extended Support Unified. The Extended Support Unicorn. I don't know what it stands for. Extended, I think it's extended support something or other. Let's see, did I mess up on any other points? There's that one. This is on this one now. Did it work? Add points -1
Read
Ken
chat,
Stout
please.
Live. There's no confirmation. There's no confirmation. What did I do wrong? Updates, points. Come on, I got to get past this and get on to our topics, starting with the one that's in chat, I think from John. But why didn't this work? At Ken Stout, the way this is supposed to work is put the number at the beginning and then press this button. And it's supposed to respond with and 9 points. Why is it not working? Okay. So there's that one did not work. That one did not work. Did not work. Oh, freakazoid. Why? I saw some that did work. Here, see, DougBot's supposed to respond. See, Menora's been given 3,000 points. There's no response. Okay. Partially 5 of 6. The only thing that's not connected is Twitch. Maybe no negative points, but it didn't work on positive points either, because there's a place where I tried to give, here, this one, try to give Ken Stout 200 points, and that did not work. And I've done negative points in the past, and it works. What on the topic list? Arnold's saying, get on with it. No, it's already been established. The word add will do it. But even for positive points, it's not working.
Read chat, please.
And John Downey's got a question. Okay, we got to move on. The points are messed up, apparently. I'm going to try one more test here, and then I'm done with it. It was working. It's not working. Okay, so that's a question. Let's take that a second. Let's get first to this question up here. John Williams, before the show start, what's the difference between Windows 11 Pro and Windows 11 Pro Workstation? I have, the last time I used a workstation product, I think it was Windows 95 Workstation. And I brought that up over here on, whatchamacallit, this Gemini to really elaborate it really well. So here, let's point out, Windows 11 Pro supports up to 2 terabytes of RAM. As a reminder, on Big Beast Build, I purchased 256 gigabytes of RAM. Currently, I only have 128 gigabytes installed, but it can go up, Windows 11 Pro can go up to 2 terabytes. But let's scroll down here to Pro for workstations. 6 terabytes of RAM. 4 physical CPUs on the same motherboard. Windows 11 Pro can handle 2 CPUs on the same motherboard. And I have had that in the past with Windows 95 Workstation. Not for me, for a client. It was a architectural firm using AutoCAD. I actually had 2 of those firms. Target audience, users with high-end hardware such as data scientists, CAD professionals, animators, graphic designers, media production teams who require maximum performance and reliability for intensive tasks. Like brain surgery. No, they don't do brain surgery with CPUs. Yeah, they do. I don't know that they use Windows for it. Would you trust your brain surgeon if you know that his tools are being guided by Microsoft Windows? The workstation product is more stable, more reliable. 4 physical CPUs, additional key features, resilient file system. So it's a next generation file system designed for large data volumes and fault tolerance, providing cloud grade resiliency. It's more resistant to data corruption. Persistent memory allows applications to access non-volatile memory modules directly. And then SMB direct. So there's the things that Gemini tells us about the difference for Windows 11 Pro for workstations. Probably not for you. If you're a typical professional user, Windows 11 Pro will likely meet all your needs. I agree with that statement. So the rest, I didn't read through everything, but the rest of it has been on screen long enough. If you want to read the rest, or you could certainly ask the same question in an AI yourself. Now let's get to the other one. John Downey. Wait a minute. I messed up here. John Williams. All right. Really? Are you going to try giving points again, Doug? John, this is John Williams. Oh, that's interesting. I got an X before the @ sign and it's still working. Oh, get rid of that X. For asking a question, we'll hit that with a 500 spot. Let's see if it worked. I'm going to look over at OBS and see if it worked. Yes, it worked. Wow, that time it worked. And maybe DougBot just has a thing against Ken Stout. Could that be on any alternate reality? Would there be one that where DougBot is not going to mess with Ken Stout? But it wasn't just Ken Stout. Okay, so that was points for asking a question of decent topical interest, decent technical interest. All those T words, they get mixed up. So John Downey, I have a Netgear AX 1800 router with a firewall. I have not touched the settings. Are there settings I should change? Well, one strategy of responding to the question is, I don't know. Are there settings that you should change? Are there settings that you would want to change? I don't have any problem with using the default settings. What things that I would want to do, that I would routinely do for my clients, is I would change the password for the admin, but it probably, since it's well, I don't know that it's a new one. You didn't say whether it's a new one. But more recently, routers will force you to change the password when you try to go into settings. Now, however, if you just plugged it in and you're using it plug and play, you haven't gone into settings, and it's still got the default password. Since you haven't touched the settings, we know there's no open ports on it because it also would default to a secure configuration that would prevent somebody from being able to connect to it through the internet and access the programming interface. If they could, and you still had the default password, then they could sign into your router and then start messing with things. If you haven't gone into settings, then that means you also might be using the default Wi-Fi password that's on a label on the side of, perhaps on a label on the side of the router. Do you need to go in and change that? Well, that depends. Do you have people coming into your house that you think might have the technical knowledge to go look at that label and then mess with your system? Do you have people coming into the house that you don't trust? In that environment, then yeah, you should be changing the Wi-Fi password to be something not default for your own security, because otherwise somebody could come in, look at that label, then they can connect to your Wi-Fi from outside of your house, not far from outside your house, or inside your house on their phone where you don't realize what they're doing. And they could be accessing, if you have any shared folders on any of your computers in the house, and if they're able to guess what the password would be, or if you have devices on your internal network, maybe a NAS that you've configured it to not require a password, then they could copy files off of that. That could be a problem. So what other things, maybe people in chat will say what other things that a normal home user might be wanting to go in and change. Oh, you know what? Let's see if Gemini comes up with some other things. Now, if somebody's already put in some of that, then give me a read chat to guide me to that. Let's see if Gemini has some other suggestions. Breakdown, change default admin, did that. Oh, update firmware, there you go. Yeah, it might be automatically updating firmware, but you don't know that. So there could be some security vulnerabilities in that router that you're not aware of, and it might not be automatically updating. So go check for firmware updates, Wi-Fi and settings, and you might also want to turn off the WPS button capability. If you don't want somebody to be able to connect to your Wi-Fi network without your knowledge, they could walk over to your router, press that button, and then connect to your Wi-Fi that way. And maybe you don't want that. Strong Wi-Fi passphrase. You might want to change the SSID so that it's not whatever's on that label. You might want to set it up so it identifies you if you want visitors to be able to easily find your Wi-Fi. Or you might want to put in an SSID, that's the name of your Wi-Fi network, to be something ambiguous that is not obviously you, because you don't want your neighbors to see which one is your Wi-Fi, because you don't trust them either. You got trust issues, I know that. A long complex password, 16 characters. Aim for 16 characters, including mix of uppercase, lowercase letters, and numbers. I like to use words and numbers and symbols that are not connected with me at all. For instance, I would not use the word hiking in any of my passwords, because people who watch my live stream, they know that I'm hiking these days. I wouldn't use the word cabin. I wouldn't use the word Huntington, because those are all things that are associated with me. And somebody could put those words into a password cracking program trying to break into my password. And of course, then I would also use uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols. Disable remote management. It should be disabled by default. I believe that routers are, yeah, most routers have remote management disabled by default. Unless you specifically need to manage a router while away, then you could turn that on. Take some other precautions about that. Disable universal plug and play. That gives the ability to, let's see, malicious software, one of your devices could use to open ports without your. Now, is that only for if you actually plug something USB into the router? Or can devices on your local network not directly plugged into the USB port of the router, can they be recognized as UPnP devices? I don't know that. Oh, there you go. Create a guest Wi-Fi, or create a guest Wi-Fi for your IoT devices, all the things in your home that want internet connectivity. Create a guest Wi-Fi network for them, so that anything connected to that guest Wi-Fi cannot access any of your other devices on your main Wi-Fi network. Still there, you want to have a password, and people coming into your house to visit, you could give them that guest Wi-Fi password. Tell them what the SSID is, and give them the password for it. They're saying change the default SSID. Denial of service protection. So that would be possibly a consideration. Port forwarding, you shouldn't be setting that up unless you know that you need it. I have set that up on occasion. MAC address filtering, I have set that up on occasion. I'm not going to go describe that all now. IPv6, if you don't use it, you might consider disabling it. I would not do that, because there are some websites out there that are only IPv6. I have come across them. Now, however, there's some, and some of you in chat has informed me that I think what it maybe it's at your router. If you have IPv6, but your computers don't have IPv6, that the router can translate that, something like that. I don't remember that very clearly. Here's how to access it. How to access the settings. I'm not going to read through that. Okay, so there we go. And John Downey, give you some points. Okay, I don't remember how many points I gave the other question. See if that worked. Yeah, 500. Let's see, how did the other one was John Williams, right? How much did I give him? Because I should be consistent. Yeah, it's 500.
Read chat, please.
All right. Let's get to this read chat. I got to tell you what happened after the show last
Read chat,
week,
please.
right? Two of them. IPv6 is for the LAN side of the router, usually. That seems strange for me. IPv6 doesn't use network. Oh, that's right. Doesn't use network address translation by default. Ensure your router's firewall is filtering incoming IPv6. Yeah, I remember that. I'm sure one of those two gentlemen
Read chat, please.
told me that before. Zvi wants me to read his orange. There are devices with Wi-Fi that cannot connect to the network if the router settings are 2.4 and 5 are connected and need to be split. Let me absorb that a bit. There are devices with Wi-Fi that cannot connect to the network if the router settings are 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz are connected and need to be split. Usually the 2.4 gigahertz will have a different SSID than the 5 gigahertz. Some routers, it seems like I recently came across one. Yeah, recently an AT&T router. It did not have the capability to identify, to separate the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz. Apparently it was completely automatically negotiated whether your Wi-Fi devices would use 2.4 or 5, because that option of putting a different SSID just wasn't there. There are devices, so I'm thinking devices like cell phones that cannot connect to the network if the router settings are 2.4 and 5 are connected. So I'm thinking that he's saying that 2.4 and 5 are on the same SSID. Some devices won't be able to connect to that. All right, that's believable.
Read chat, please.
Hadn't
Read
ever
chat,
thought of
please.
that. My app for air conditioner. Okay. So Zvi, am I understanding correctly that if the router doesn't have different SSIDs for 2.4 versus 5, that's when the problem occurs? Greg M is saying devices require 2.4 gigahertz usually, and the router might be trying first
That's
to
a Big Ten
negotiate 5 gigahertz. Thank you. The routers probably, if they're combined on the same SSID.
Yes, sir. Bob.
Thank you. I would be thinking that the router's trying to first negotiate 5 gigahertz. If that fails, then it falls back to 2.4. If you have this app for the air conditioner, for instance, that can only do 2.4, it might not even be able to begin the negotiation. Thus, the router doesn't ever get a chance to fall back because the negotiation never begins. Good contributions there, both of you gentlemen. Is he going to do this every time somebody gives a good contribution? Wouldn't you like to know? Did it work? Yeah, that one worked. That one worked. Shall I see if I can get Ken Stout to work? Is this just, and Ken thinks it's just me that has this thing against him. And it appears to be StreamerBot also. Just doesn't like Ken Stout. Now see the form of this. It's identical, the same. Now Ken Stout did change his handle. Is that somehow causing a problem? What was his old handle? Let me try that.
Read chat, please.
I'll get to that, Marsman. Let's see. Ken Stout. What did it used to just be Ken Stout Live? Let me try that and see if that'll work. What was your old name, Ken? Looks like that didn't work. Okay, Marsman asks, what happened to Stormy? Now, this is not a technical question. This is not about a problem he's having, so he's not going to get points for it. Stormy got trash canned along with a lot of the other fluff. I'm on this warpath to remake my channel, streamline the things I do, reduce the number of things I do that are not really contributing to growing the channel. If anybody decides to watch this channel because of the inclusion of Stormy, that's not really my target viewer anyway. If you don't find satisfaction in the technical conversations of finding questions of problems that people are having with their computers, and stick with this channel for that, if you need something like Stormy to stick with this channel, you're not really a good candidate for this channel. I know it was a fun little gimmick, but it did take time to maintain it. It added to the number of things that can break. So, and some people were annoyed with it. So yeah, Greg M, spring cleaning is a good Stormy, a good way to say that. Stormy is off to college. Stormy signed an NDA. Persona non grata. Yeah, I think it's the new name maybe. So what was the old name of Ken Stout's channel? I wonder if StreamerBot will recognize that. Oh, let's do this. Let's go try. Does seem to be Ken, but somebody else failed too. Who was the other one that failed? Can you remind me? This is Squirrel, isn't it? Let's go over here. Get rid of those voice in your head. You will feel much better. Oh, that's back at the beginning. Let's go to his channel and see if that gives me a clue what it used to be, because he hasn't told me yet. I asked him. He hasn't told me. That's gobbledygook. What was his original handle? Can't tell from that. All right, moving on. Have I hit all the read chats? What did you ask me? What was your original handle? Ken? What? Ken? Hey, Ken. I don't whistle very well. Ken. Here, Ken. Here, Ken. What was your old channel name before you added the 2025? I want to try awarding points to you
Read
with
chat,
that.
please.
He's not watching. He's not listening. LM Kenster. I'm Kenster. It's not LM. It's I'm Kenster.
Read chat, please.
John Williams. It was Ken Stout Live without 20. I already tried that one. It didn't work. He's saying it was I'm Kenster. So let's try I'm Kenster and see if I can assign 500 points to that. I kind of doubt it. Nope. Well, apparently I am watching the stream. Just takes him a while to form the response in his head. Yeah, that didn't work. Somebody else failed to get points. I gotta get moving on. This is almost an hour. Okay, what happened last week? I got to all the questions, I believe. I better find out, did I get to all the read chats? Oh, come on. Carrie did that. I will not reveal. Got that. Got that. I forgot to add points for Zavi. Well, at one point, the points for Zavi did not work, right? Did they ever work? I don't think they did work. That's the other one I owe. He is so easily diverted by shiny object. Here, that one worked. This one did not. Oh, wait a minute, there it did. It worked there. It worked when I guess I did it a second time. I get absolutely crucified on the Ken Stout live show if I miss people's read chats. Did that. Tony, we haven't done Tony. Oh, he's, as far as I know, he hasn't been again in chat. Yeah, he did memberships before the show started, and they've all been lost to me here. He did, I believe, 5 memberships. And now, if he's not in chat during the live stream, I don't think this will work. And so I add it's 5 followed by 2 zeros. Let's see if that worked. Yes, it worked. Hasn't been here for a while. Oh, Terrell Kakaram is showing up in green, meaning is a member. Hello, Terrell. Oh, yeah, whoever gifted me a membership. Thank you. Yeah, that was Tony. If it came today, it was Tony Wallow. If it was some other day, it was still probably Tony Wallow, although there have been other people. I keep trying to cover people's read chats, and I just don't get very far. I'm looking at when it shows up in orange. See, that's the one it's highlighting. One in orange. There is a place that I can go see what they were. Wait a minute. Why was that one saying Al J? Oh, Alice Jones. I have a year extra Windows 10. I joined AUC. Oh, we did see that. Updates. I'm not sure what you're asking for there, Ran Israel. Was that speculating what happened after the show last week? I don't know. Oh, let's try this. Please write my thoughts to you out and email to me. I really am still learning grammar and English shilly. I think I pronounced that right. So while in my mind it makes sense, apparently my fingers get confused. I got that. Got that. Got that. Got that. We got that. Yeah, IPv6 does not use network address translation. So your workstation is communicating directly with the website. So they see your workstation's actual IPv6 address. So you want to filter incoming IPv6 traffic, how are you going to filter that to be sure you don't get connected with bad sites? Okay, I need to resume at number 14. You were wondering, what does the U stand for in ESU? Oh, thank you. Stands for updates. Oh, extended, yeah, ESU. Extended
Read chat, please.
service updates, I guess.
Yeah, read chat, please.
I should look over at OBS for these rechats are coming in so often. Ryan Israel says there are websites like IPv6 tester for that. Okay, and Scott says Terrell Cockeram needs a blue wrench. Okay, let me get a little more acquainted there. I'll finish with this. Orange. Okay. Did I know what the orange is? What he was referring to with orange? I don't know. Oh, yes. I looked at my log for the first time. There are quite a few DOS attacks, denial of service attacks, and source. Yeah, I've got tons of them. When I look at the log in my router, there's tons of attacks. Tons and tons of them. That's why we like routers. That's why we like network address translation. And that's probably why you need to deal with that IPv6 issue. Why do we not routinely tell everyone to turn off IPv6 on their workstations? Did that. It was, yeah, did that. Did that. That.
Read chat, please.
Terrell Cockeram, I'll get to that. I'm going to copy that. And that statement came from Scott. Because there's no need to. There's no need to disable IPv6. But if websites out there can then directly communicate with the specific IPv6 address of your computer, somebody said we need to be sure filtering for IPv6 is turned on at the router. But if the router is not involved in that communication, does that really accomplish anything? I think I want to say that's beyond the scope of what I want to do in this video. But let's consider that an open subject. Greg M does disable IPv6 since routers these days are more than capable of handing out IPv4 on the LAN side. But in doing that, doesn't that mean you will have a problem with websites that only handle IPv6? Because the router doesn't translate that to IPv4. That's what the router's firewall is there for. But if you're saying the router's not involved with the IPv6 communication, then is the router firewall really doing anything? And there we go, continuing on that subject. I agree with that, Greg. Easier determining what devices based on IPv4. Look at Daniel Pert right there. He's putting in maybe just a space and then hit enter.
Read chat, please.
And what that does is that keeps him alive in this participants list. Every 5 minutes, if you haven't chatted within the last 5 minutes, then you drop off of this list and you're no longer gaining 50 points per minute that you're watching the show. And part of all the infrastructure redesign this summer is to produce leaderboards on various different topics. Hello, Darren Galeholm. check this. Okay, I bet this is going to have reading material for me for after the show. You've been forbidden to use this website. Darn. All right, why is that? Is it a different country? Zvi is in Israel. So I'm guessing that's what that has to do with, and I lost my chat. And Darren's trying to boost up his YouTube ranking. Over here, this is YouTube's points system. Where is Daryl? Can I search in here? I don't think he's even
Read chat,
placing
please.
on this list yet. Did I say Daryl? It's Darren. He didn't get it. Zvi Manor, he didn't get it. What? Zvi didn't get a joke? Didn't get points? What didn't he get? Darren is 8th. Yeah, it's because I didn't. I was thinking the wrong thing, wasn't I? Wrong name. Oh. Oh, there he is, Mr. Book. That's why I was searching for his name. Or what I thought was his name. Yeah, he's number 9 now. So he's trying to get more points to get up into the 100 range. 100, 150, 175 is Tony Wallow at number 1, then Scott and Ken. Will he ever get onto the subjects? Gifted to membership. Yeah. Oh, Terrell, has he said anything else? Do we know anything more about him yet?
Read chat, please.
Yeah, it says it was this morning that he was gifted to membership. And Terrell, I have the capability of looking at all the chats that you put in since I don't know you very well yet. I'm being a little careful about what I expose about you. And basically what I'm looking for is to know that is evidence that you're not a troll, because I have a lot of problems with trolls around here. And based on the screening I just did, I have determined you do not appear to be a troll. You passed the screening. So if I don't make you a moderator now, then in a future live stream, when I have it set for, what is that other method called? Live community or live commentary mode. When I have it on that mode, you cannot chat unless you're a moderator or you've been approved. Your comments have been always approved. Now, a member, I think, will overwrite that. So I think because of the membership you would, but just to make sure, we're going to make you a moderator. I do not ask you to do moderator activities. It's just to put you in blue. You can put in a link if you want to promote your channel. Just don't be obnoxious about it. I learned about you through Carrie Holtzman. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Very good. And that's some extra information. Let's go ahead and let you experience what it's like to be awarded points. Welcome aboard. Throw you some extra points. Let's see if it worked.
Read chat, please.
Ran Israel, read chat. You guys got to let me get on with the topics. Let's see. Yeah, the points were awarded. Ran Israel. Let's see. Ran Israel. Hi, Darren Gilholm.
Read chat, please.
What is he trying to get me to? Provided a screenshot of an IPv4 client trying to access an IPv6. It's just a screenshot. Oh, okay. And I'll bet this is another way to access that. Yeah. Whoops. So it's a screenshot with a red line pointing to Ken Stout saying LOL. Oh, Ken Stout Live. This was his old name. without the 2025, but he's got spaces. That's what he's pointing out here. He's giving me Ken Stout's prior handle, and he's doing it correctly. I lost chat again. What is the sequence of events that caused me to lose my pop-out chat? See, currently, when I took out the 2025, I didn't have the spaces. So let's try it with spaces. At Ken space Stout space live, and then hit a points button for that. You really want that question answered? And what question was that? I don't know. I don't know. Nope, still no worky.
Read chat, please.
Oh, what sequences of events? What sequence? I must have said that in the past 5 to 10 minutes in reference to...
Read chat, please.
Maybe what sequence of events led to him changing his channel? I don't remember that. I don't remember saying that. Oh, that caused me to lose chat. Oh, that caused me to lose chat, not him. 34 seconds ago. What sequence of events caused me to lose chat? Do you really want that question answered? All right, well, that was a real convenient. Yeah, Arnold Albert, you're right. He did not add to the technical quality of the show by diverting me with that, did he? Last week, Ken Stout still, his hard drive in, I know it's SP, Spinright. It looked like it was going to take multiple years for it to fix his hard drive, where Spinright would read a section of drive and then rewrite it. But more significantly, we found that all the relocation sectors were full, which makes the drive, for all practical purposes, not usable. So the use of Spinright, in my mind, was successful. It successfully told us we could not revive the drive. What about recovering the files that are on the drive? Now, nobody proposed this that I'm aware of in chat, and I didn't. But admittedly, the intended task, the announced task, was not to try to recover lost files, because Ken said he didn't need what's on that drive. The intended task was to try to see if we could make the drive usable again. So we really didn't address the issue of recovering files from it. But after the show was over, what I informed Ken of and Carrie of is that I successfully recovered all of the files that were on that drive. How did I do that? You saw enough information in last week's show to figure out how I did that and how Spinright helped me to that, but Spinright did not actually do it. So there's a comment in here. Let's see. Oh, then use that drive as doorstop or the magnets from it. Spinright can save a hard drive if it has enough reallocation space left over. Now, reallocation apparently is different than relocation. It's a relocation space that was full. I don't know how closely those terms are related. It was not a magic wand. Let's see, when do I want to do this piece? Oh, I know. I don't want to. What I'll do is give you some clues to try to help you get there, because that's part of what this is about, trying to figure things out. Exercise your technical wizardry and mental acuity. Now, give me a moment here. Okay. Now, the reason why I informed Kerry of it is because he left a comment on last week's video, and I want to go address some of the specific things in that comment. But at the time that he made that comment, he did not know that I'd successfully recovered all the files on that drive. So I wanted to let him know so that whatever, let him know that, so that, yeah, whatever, that there's more to the story coming up. I did recover all the files. Spinright contributed towards that, but was not totally responsible for it. Greg M says, well, did Spinright fix the master file table on the drive? No, it did not. Spinright finds sectors and places where data is stored. It will try to retrieve them. Then it will place that data in the space allocated for this purpose. I'm of the understanding, and in the evidence that we saw, was actually it'll read from where the data is and then write it back to the same place. I don't think it necessarily goes to a different place. No sector, we saw it go through a bunch of work. We saw it do a bunch of work, succeed at a bunch of work, and it did not flag any sectors as bad, not at all. And there were no relocation sectors available. So it succeeded many times, showed us that it succeeded. And I think what it was doing is it was reading that data from that place, and it had to retry, read it, and then it wrote it back to that same place, I think, because it's just dealing with the ones and zeros. It doesn't even know about file structure. Doesn't care what operating system, doesn't care what file system you have on the drive. It's just reading ones and zeros and then writing them back. Did not do that. Use software that reads bit by bit on the drive and then to a new drive. No, that's not what I did. Now the rest of the story. I believe Spinright purpose is to make disks readable, then copy the files to a new drive. Reasonable statement. And not what I did. Now we saw that Spinright was going to take, by the number of hours that it showed us to complete, that calculated out to some number of years. And it was still growing. The numbers was still growing. It would go down a little bit and then go up. Okay, Lawn Dog, I'm not gonna read all of your stuff there. Okay. So let me review what happened. I showed you the video that shows what happened when I tried to boot this computer to the Spinright flash drive. BIOS came up with a message saying the drive was the smart info on the drive says it's bad, and it would not go any further, would not boot into anything as long as that drive was connected. So I couldn't even launch Spinright. I had to go into BIOS and tell BIOS to ignore smart info. Ignore smart info on the drive. When I did that, I was then able to get into able to launch Spinright. I ran the Spinright level 2, and it showed over and over and over that it was it told us that it found a minor problem, but it succeeded with retries. And then it moved on to the next one. Work on it, retry, and then succeeded. It told us multiple times it found a minor problem and it succeeded. Now, Spinright doesn't care about files, right? It's going to go through the entire drive, every byte of storage space on the drive. So, after the show was over, I was interested to find out if I exit Spinright and come back into it, is it going to again find problems in that same range of sectors? You didn't see this. The answer was yes. It did find more problems, which means even if I let it go for that number, whatever number of years until it finished, the drive was still going to continue having problems, because when it fixed those places did stay fixed, but then it found other problems in that same range that it didn't find to be a problem originally. So it says the drive is continuing problems. Now, I've told you that I disabled in BIOS, ignore, I'll get to that, ignore the smart info, and that Spinright could see the drive and work with it. What did I do next to actually recover all of the files, and why? Now, I don't have any questions for Steve Gibson about why this occurred. I'm thinking that the heads are misaligned. That's one common thing that happens to a drive. Turn off smart in the UEFI. Did you say this before or after I told it? I don't know. 2 minutes ago. I think I already said that.
Read chat, please.
I don't think Spinright depends upon reallocation space. Spinright did deal with the misalignment of heads, but it's still going to continue with that problem because they're still misaligned. Further down, Greg M, further down than where I was up there. I couldn't, so I'm going to assume that there's a Greg M. Greg M has a comment he wants me to see. Turning off smart in UEFI allowed accessing drive files without Spinright. That's part of it. That's part of it. Turn off smart in UEFI. Yeah, 2 copies of MFT on a drive that can get corrupted at the beginning of a drive. I don't think that was trouble. Well, did Spinright fix it? Yeah, I don't think it did that. Okay. So this is an important part of how I recovered the files. And I have video of the actual recovery. I should just get on with it rather than trying to show you that. Even though you recovered the data, is the drive usable? No, not reasonably. Because if you were to use it, I'm still going to attempt to reformat it. If I reformat it, when I reformat it, I would want to use the long format, not use the quick format. So it's going to take a long time. It might do a lot of retries. It may take an awful long time and I might abort it, or it might reformat the drive utilizing the misaligned heads, and it might put the data on the drive misaligned. I don't know if that's a thing, but the problem is the relocation sectors are totally used up and we can't recover those. So the drive is not reasonably usable because down the road, anytime that the drive needs to use relocation sectors, they're not going to be there. And then you're just going to have a very persistent error. It may function as a scratch drive, but not reasonably usable, I don't think. A little bit of jury out on that still. Okay, I think I got Greg M's. You're able to access the files. Spinright, okay. Spinright did not fix the issue disabling smart help. Yes. So Spinright did not fix the issue about the trouble that it was having reading the sectors. But what it did tell me is, what did it tell me about the trouble of reading the sectors? What did it say about that trouble that was significant? Super significant. I already told you. I just didn't point out how significant it was. I had a bad 1 terabyte hard drive, was able to recover most of the data using a dual drive USB device, just clone it without any software. All right. Drive has hardware issues, you toss it. Yeah. I can't read I can't go through every comment. So if somebody's given that answer, yeah, I'm agreeing with
Recheck,
Londog there. Reformat will probably take a very long time, but there weren't. Spinright was not finding bad spots. It was finding spots that it had difficulty reading. They weren't bad sectors. They weren't ever marked as bad. There it is. There it is, Ran Israel. That these were minor issues. Spinright said these were minor issues. Bingo, bada boom. That's what Spinright told me that I considered to provide hope. Okay, so then what? I got to a point, Spinright had told me they were minor issues. And with retry, it succeeded. And I knew that telling BIOS to ignore the smart info to let the computer boot up. Now what to do with those pieces of information? You can try a zero fill format tool, but not trust the drive anymore with those symptoms, only for research and fun. Sounds like Spinright read sectors tries to validate specification not tight enough. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Boot into Windows with Smart disabled and run check disk. You missed it by that much. Try again. Try again, because that's what Spinright was doing, right? Try again. He said, boot into Windows with Smart disabled and run check disk. So close. Should $300 data recovery be concerned? No. No, this is not a challenge. This does not provide any competition with $300 data recovery. I still always recommend them first up to bat on any data recovery situation. And woe to anyone who tries to compete with them. They do such good customer service. I've used them a few times. Incredible customer service. Boom, chakalaka. Greg M. Simplest solution on the planet. Boot into Windows and just file export to copy the files to a different drive. How simple could it be? Now, I said that Spinright provided some very important information. If I did that, if I tried that without Spinright, if I just disabled the smart info, boot it into Windows and try to copy the files across, what I would have found was it was totally looking stalled, won't work, frozen, broken, because it would spend long amounts of time. And it doesn't tell me what, did it tell me what files? I don't think it told me what files it was stuck on. Stuck for a long, long time. I have a video of how long it took. I'm trying to, I'm reluctant to say how long it took. So I'm going to see how well I can show you that. Without Spinright having told me over and over and over that there are minor errors and that it successfully completed the process over and over and over, I don't know that I would have, if I had started with Windows after I saw how long it was taking, I don't know that I would have let it continue. But I had evidence because of what Spinright told me about it. I know that's a very minor piece, but it was enough to get me to stick with it. Otherwise, I don't think I would have. So I'm looking here. Is it should be in here, right? Oh, I got these sorted wrong. So that was last week. The date then was like the 26th, 27th of July. Why is it not there? Yeah, I know, dead air. You're not supposed to have dead air. Is it in here? Ah, there we go. There we are. Okay. Last week was the 26th. Overnight. After. Why are there 3 videos? Okay, there's 3 videos that are titled Spinright After Overnight 8 terabyte recovery work. I can't show you this list of videos because it has some client names in it. And they are 6.5 hours, 8.5 hours, and almost 4 hours. So 12, like 18 hours to complete it. Oh no, some of that is Spinright. So let me hit you here. This is the beginning of the first of those videos. And then let's go up here. Here were the messages that it was giving us. I'm pausing the video here. After a minor problem reading the sector occurred and repeated attempts succeeded, the sector has been rewritten. Okay, so there's the answer. Sector has been rewritten, not to reallocated. They weren't using reallocations. Rewritten at that sector, not somewhere else. All right, and then, okay, here's the beginning of that Windows copy operation. Now, first, when I sent the message to Carrie and to Ken, it was, I think, a half an hour after the show was over. Checking to make sure there's nothing client related on here. No. So I just accessed the drive in Windows. This is Windows booted on this computer. It's my client's Windows operating system. They traded this computer in, well, replaced it. And so here's some pictures. I knew that was Ken Stout right off the bat. And then inside this folder, and we're going to show you more about the recovery process. So then here is 7% complete. There are 1,384 items identified. It was estimating at this point 2 hours and 40 minutes to go, and not showing me what file names it's working on at the time. But this was just a drag and drop copy operation. Oh, wait a minute, there's some file names. Yeah, there are file names. This is the name right here. So that's an audio file, a music file. So scratch what I said a little while ago about not showing me the file names. It does. It did. Now moving that forward a ways. Okay, here's the end of this video. I stopped the recording, I think just to break it up. So here's another audio file that it's copying, and it's estimating more than 1 day. And it would just stick on these for long periods of time. Here it's showing 1.72 megabytes per second. Here it's down to 710 kilobytes. Kilobytes, not megabytes. That's where it was having some trouble. So you see those numbers bouncing around a lot. Gives a clue about the trouble that it was having. I'm dragging the playhead back. Oh, there's 1.04 megabytes, that one was. So you see some things happening there. So I want to get on to video number 2 and video number 3. Checking to make sure nothing exposed. All right, there's a first name there. That's all right. Now estimating 22 hours to complete after having done some time. That's not a total of 22 hours from the beginning. That's saying from this point forward, it's estimating 22 hours. That number changes as it's running. Now, actually, it is running right now. But notice here, you can't tell. You can't tell there's any activity. The video is playing right now. Look in the bottom left corner, the number of seconds showing. The video is playing, but it looks totally stuck, like it's not going anywhere. And it would stick like that for a long period of time. This 1.72 megabytes per second, I don't believe that. It's just totally stuck. Let's find something else interesting.
Read chat, please.
Oh, look at this. At last read chat. Read my comment above with orange. Oh, that's why he used the word orange previously, is referring to his orange comment. I'm sorry I didn't catch that before, Zivi. Let's come back. Let's go over here and see this. Read my comment above with orange. So I can't search for the word orange. I have no idea where that is. So the only reasonable way for me to find that, since you didn't give me a time, is to search for live Windows training, but it's not there anywhere. At there. Oh, because I didn't spell it right. So if I search for that, I can find his comment. Long way about finding it. For Zavine Manor, where he hit me in orange. Here it is. From 1228. Every time you using my link from chat, you losing chat. Try to format the hard drive with HD Guru. Now, instead of left clicking on the link, let me right click and go to new tab and see if I don't lose chat. So you suggesting I try, whoops, I can't get to it there. Not found on this server. Why do I always have that with your stuff? Yeah, now I didn't lose. So the key is to right click. So Zvi, you answered an issue there. So thank you for that. Throw some points on you. Make sure it worked. Yes, it did. Now come back. Look at this. It's down to 1 hour and 55 minutes at 34% complete. But let's click play. Let the video play through and see what happens to that. Saying 1 megabyte per second. I don't know how long it's going to take to get to something else. Oh yeah, well, the speed up. Right square bracket, I think. Yeah, up in the upper left corner, you see the speed increasing. That was also Zvi Minor. Speeding up to, and it goes way up. 11 times speed. Still holding at 1 hour and 50 minutes. 30 speed. 2 hours. So back down to 1 hour and 30 minutes. I haven't looked through this to see when it changes and how much. So I'm going to drag there's now we're up to more than 1 day. 18 hours, 19 hours, 23 hours, more than 1 day. So you see it changing by big increments. All right, now I'm going to scrub forward. Oh, whoa, what was this? Come back to here. Here we go. Show you this one. Oh, no, that says 4 hours. I thought it said, when I was scrubbing past it, I thought it said 4 days. Yeah, oh, look at that one. Down here, it got down to 12 minutes remaining. Scrubbing forward, and up to 2 hours, 12 hours, more than 1 day. So up here at the end of this video, still more than 1 day. Yeah, I know I'm taking too long on this. So that was only a second video.
Read chat,
Okay.
please.
The link was for harddriveguru.com software. All right. I like that. I think I like that better than trying to do it with Windows. Should I try it with Windows first? Here, 98% complete. It says 19 hours remaining. Scrubbing forward, 4 hours, 1 hour, more than 1 day. So it's still just craziness. Here it comes. Here it comes to the end. 6 hours, 30 minutes. Let's go speed up. Nine minutes. Still varying a lot. Well, this video goes on for quite a while, but no, the screen just about goes away pretty soon. Yeah, there it is. So there it's done. And by looking at that was 7:37 a.m. on the 27th. So that would have been Sunday, right? Yeah. Whatever the time was between those. If you go back and look at the beginning of that first video and check the time, you could do the math. I don't care. So those files are accessible. They're all there. And I can, so after doing that, I contact Ken Staff, or maybe it was when I first told him that I have access to all the files. So, oh, great. I don't need them. Well, I already knew he didn't need them, but he didn't even remember putting any files on that drive whatsoever. I don't care. I don't care. It was an exercise in technical pursuit, and I enjoyed it. Oh. Let's do this. Here is that computer. Oh, no, I can't put it on screen while it's booting up because that's going to show client information. But we can go try playing those files. Yeah, I know they're copy protected. On copyright, whatever. I don't think I had any read chats that I've missed. Oh, the better way for me to have found when Zavi said where he hit me in orange, better way to do that would have been go over here. Why did I not do that? To find his prior orange they don't show up in orange in here. Yeah, so, oh, that's where he said orange there. He was trying to guide me to that and I didn't get it. I will try to be better with that. Orange comment. Maybe if you have to make it easy for the old man. So I could just copy that link. I mean, yeah, copy the address, not link. Verifying you are human. How did it verify that I'm human? Oh, you didn't see that. Let's see if it'll do it again. No, it doesn't. Do you think I should try Windows first? I'm inclined to do that. Orange chair. All right, now let's go on to Carrie's comment because there's some topics in there worth discussing. Oh, and I'm also booting up the computer. Okay, I can check on its boot status on my preview window. My preview window for studio mode. I just had to remember my client's password successfully, I might add. Now, looks like that's going to take a little bit to get going. So let's go get to Carrie's comment. There, turn studio mode off. Now that we witness, I think that's that we witness rather than they. Now that we witness, it takes a long time. Spinright, this version is faster than the older versions. This is a very large hard drive, 8 terabytes. But yeah, Spinright takes a long time to do what it does. Stresses out an already failing hard drive. That's irrelevant if you don't intend to continue using the drive. So that doesn't bother me at all. Costs $90. It does not cost $90 every time you use it. It's a one-time purchase. I purchased it 25 years ago. There's no subscription to it, not even if you buy new today. I did not pay $90 for it 25 years ago, whenever it was. It's a one-time purchase, and so far version upgrades are free. And $90 is trivial for data recovery or hard drive maintenance. I think this program is more significant in the area of hard drive maintenance than recovery. So that number is insignificant and ultimately does nothing to help a user get data back. Well, I disagree with that entirely because it was very much responsible for helping me get the data back, although this user didn't need that data. I would not have attempted it had I not seen Spinright reporting it was a minor issue and it succeeded. And there's tons of other technical data that I don't know any other place to get that level of technical data about what's going on with the drive. So it's not a tool I would turn to frequently. I haven't turned to it for a long time. And now I'm only looking at it because I'm curious, because I find it to be a technical curiosity. Just like a handyman or a carpenter, maybe even a yard
chat,
work
please.
person might have tools that they don't use very often. This is a very specific, narrow purpose tool and is not the right tool in the environment that it is sometimes perceived as advertised for, which is data recovery. And they do say for data recovery. I wish they wouldn't. It's more like our drive recovery, or it is data because it's bits and bytes, but you're not going after specific files. That last read chat, please, was what? Does $300 data recovery use software to Spinright? We don't know that. The most information I have about what tools $300 data recovery uses was from interviews that Kerry Holzman did with Brian. Is it Brian Cometa? And I don't think he really identified all the tools they use. Is it possible that they might have some remote occasions where they might use Spinright? It's possible, but I know that they adamantly advise people to not use $300 data recovery, not use Spinright before. $300 data recovery adamantly says don't use. No, that's not it. $300 data recovery adamantly says don't use Spinright before sending a drive to us. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely. Because it puts more strain on an already failing hard drive. And that's where Kerry's comment absolutely applies. If you're going to send it to $300 data recovery. If you're not, knock yourself out. Depends upon what your true objective is. Now, got to be careful about people who say they don't want to spend $300 for it. Do you have any tools you could use to try to get it back? And then after you fail to get it back, then they say, okay, I'll go ahead and spend the $300. No. You've got to explain to them first. If I do this, $300 data recovery likely will not be successful. Absolutely. Do not run Spinright before setting it to $300 data recovery. Don't say, or any other tool. Don't turn the computer on. Client calls, I can't get to my data. Hard drive won't work. It's important data. There's no backup. My position, tell them do not turn the computer on. Leave it off. I'm going to remove the drive, send it to $300 data recovery. I'm not even going to attempt to turn the computer on. Now, a problem with that, I got to backpedal a little bit. I've had people tell me that, and then I find out there's some very simple thing they're doing wrong. So you got to be sure, what do they mean they can't get to their files? It might mean they forgot their Windows logon password. It might mean a BIOS update has switched BIOS from the drive modes. RAID to AHCPIXYZ elemental P. And I've had that happen. So you do got to make sure there's actually a drive problem. So you're going to probably do a little bit of stress on the drive. But anyway, moving on. Ultimately does nothing. I disagree with that. It was very helpful in this case. The next test should be to use the free DD Rescue under Linux. I'm very interested in trying that. I'm technically curious about doing that, and the way I would go about it is I would install Linux on a dedicated drive mounted in this computer and try that DD Rescue. Will that help grow my channel? Will that help attract the right people that I want coming to this channel? Or is it going to attract Linux fans and forever be a distraction? So I don't know that I'm actually going to do it, but I'm technically curious about it. And I don't really want to become a data recovery channel. See if it brings back any data in a fraction of time and amount of wear and tear on the failing drive. I'm inclined to think not in this case, because that program's probably going to retry and get the data the same way that Windows did. Now, when Kerry wrote this, he did not know what the results were that I got. Just a suggestion to show the light. So, because he made this comment, I wanted to let him know, hey, I actually got all the files. And I told him Spinright helped, but was not responsible for it. And he responded saying he was eager to see what tools I used. All right, the tool was Windows File Explorer. So there. Okay. What is this? Oh no, well, disregard my email I sent then. I don't see an email from you. Is there one? Last email I have from you is May 31st. Unless you sent it from a different address. Yeah, nope. I ain't got nothing. I deleted it. It was about data recovery. You deleted it before you sent it? Why bother telling me to disregard it? RAID versus, where'd it go? AHCI. Dell's notorious for that. And don't forget MBR-UEFI. Yeah.
Read chat, please.
I just lost Doug by turning off my computer. What was the total space recovered? The 8 terabyte drive. I did cover that, but let me come over and well, I showed you how many files that it was. I didn't show you the amount of space. So let me turn studio mode on and then go get to the computer and preview this in full screen over there and get to, so I copied the files to the C drive of my client's computer. into a folder called KSL. Bet you can't guess what that stands for. And then if I right click on that and show the properties, there we go. You'll see, here it is, how much is in that folder. Oops, that's not where I want it. Put it here. Yeah, so 9 gigabytes. Almost 1,200 files, 185 folders. And if I come over to storage drive, take that off when I click on
Read
it.
chat, please.
Wait a minute, what am I doing? Oh, do that, then that. Is this thing working right? No, it's not. Why? I don't have studio mode on. Thought I had studio mode on. That last read chat, KSL can set live. Oh, yes. Yes, Arnold, that's what it was. Okay, so capture that. And then I want this one
Read chat, please.
on this monitor. Zavi Manor says, Doman 2000 mentioned in chat about HDD Regenerator. I like this software better than Spinright 6.1. All right. So perhaps that software gives similar technical information. I don't know. Now let's do transition. So you should be seeing that screen now. This is Ken's drive, not the copy. This is actually Ken's drive. When I did the copy operation, I just dragged this new folder over. I didn't try to copy his copy of Crystal Disk Mark because I didn't care about that. But if I go into new folder, I was using the wrong mouse. You won't see me point. It's this new folder is the one that I copied. So if I right click here on music and check properties of it, we should come up with the same number. It's slower coming up with the number because it's having a hard time getting information from the drive. I don't think I'm going to check out that HDD regenerator again because I'm not really interested in getting more into data recovery. So there's the 9.08 gigabytes, almost 1,200 files. I think there was a one-digit difference. Is that right? Where's this other? Oh, here it is, right here. No, 1198 files, 184 folders, 185 folders. The same number of files. The number of bytes is exact match. So it recovered all of it. Now, are those files actually playable? I have to admit, I have not tried playing them. I found the pictures worked. Now, if I go into music, here's where the pictures are. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking on, this is the bad drive. I need to go look in the actual folder. That's on the C drive, the copy. Now I've got a wait indicator just spinning and spinning and spinning because it's trying to resolve that bad drive. So here you see it spinning and spinning and spinning. Yeah, I can't. Okay, I did a right click. Oh, it finally went to the C drive. Okay, I was thinking I could end task. But let's get over here to the C drive. KSL. Okay, now bring this back up for you. There. Hello, PhotoFix Media. Nice. Thank you. Compliment there. Greetings. Your advice is always best. Okay, so here's the new folder on the C drive. Double click on that. Double click on music. See, it's much more responsive here. It can start being goofy. Now that bad drive is still connected, so that can still cause some sluggishness, but I should be able to get these files. A whole bunch of music in here. And Ken's got no interest in this. I don't think it's even his content. Will he actually play? Clicking through them pretty quickly. So I'm gonna mute the microphone. And once I find out myself, I'll give maybe a couple seconds of one of them, because you can do up to at 6 seconds. That's when you start having trouble. Somehow I recognize that name trying to call me, but decline. Okay, so, and I don't even know if it's got enough of a speaker for me to hear it. Although my capture device does bring sound through. Okay, so let's try. I'll just get ready to stop it. There we go. Yeah, I'm hearing it. Yeah, it's playing. And I'm checking the audio indicators to see if you are hearing anything or if it even comes through. Oh yeah, there's a place. Oh, it looks like it was coming through to you. Yeah, Ken says we hear it. All right, good enough. I didn't do more than 6 seconds, so. That's all of that. Oh, look at that. We're 4 minutes overtime.
Read chat, please.
Transition, studio mode off. Marsman says he heard it. Yeah. When I got switched over to where I could see my audio panel, I was able to tell that you were. I had to scroll down before I could see the section that was showing that. So I need to default that to not play. Oh, I know it's not on this list. Yeah, I'll work on that after show. All right, we're about to shut down. Is there anything that I've missed? Oh, Scott is at the #1 position. By how much? He is at 225. So are a couple other people. Um, Yeah, there's a tie for first. You're right. Three-way tie. And probably maybe seniority, meaning Scott has been higher than the other two for his hysterically, however you say that. Okay. There may be some additional live streams coming up this week because there are a bunch of other comments that I have that I'm kind of changing strategy over how to handle them, because some of them involve some specific conversations. So I'm thinking I might be doing live streams specifically for specific questions and be shorter, and they may come up at any random times during the week. That's a maybe, not sure. Okay. Here's the email address. If you want to send a question by email or a comment on any of my videos or ask a question in chat. The best place to do it is by email with as much detail as you can give. And other than that, have a great weekend, everybody. I'll catch you later. Goodbye.